Hi guys and welcome to Trading and Investing with Carl. In today's video we are going to talk about if this was the burst of the Bitcoin bubble. First of all, we are going to talk about how bubbles boom and burst and in general evolve, and later on we are going to look at it on the chart. You can divide up the growth stage in three phases. The first phase is the linear growth. That's the most sustainable and the most rational growth in all of the phases. It has the longest duration, and on the chart it has a max angle of 30 degrees. That's also the phase where nobody talks about this asset or about this market. The second phase is the square growth. That's when the media starts to talk about it, and some of the big boys who got too late into the asset publicly announced that they bought or are going to buy it in the future. That's also when the euphoria starts to kick in and nobody wants to sell it because everybody is in a profit. It has on the chart an angle from around 30 to 45 degrees. The third phase is the exponential growth. That's the last phase of the growth stage. It is often triggered by a short squeeze. That means that people who shorted the asset got run over by the bulls and now have to buy back the asset at a higher price and push the price even higher. That's also the moment where absolute greed and absolute euphoria is in the market, and people who own the asset are going to say that they're idiots if they don't own the asset. It is also the most irrational phase and it doesn't make any sense from a fundamental perspective. After the growth stage, there is the burst. Everything that goes up has to come down. That's the moment where people panic sell. They realize the reality is different from what they thought and it's completely overvalued. And they start to panic sell it. They rush out of the asset and it drops faster than the exponential growth. That is also because of the liquidation, because in such phases of exponential growth, a lot of people are with high debt and high leverage in the market and bought the asset. And now as the price drops, they get liquidated and kicked out of the market and have to sell the asset. Sometimes after a severe drop, there is a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce is when people who didn't bought the asset in the boom phase now want to buy because they think it's cheap. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. But if it's a dead cat bounce, they're definitely wrong because people who bought it high now see their opportunity to sell it at a better price and get out of it with a cheap cut. And now, as we cleared the patterns of a bubble, let's go and look at it on the chart. Here we have the Bitcoin chart. That's 2017, and this was definitely a bubble. If it's a bubble now, we are going to discuss it later, but for now on, let's see how we get the three phases here in 2017. The first phase, as we said, is the linear growth. That's from around here to, let's say, around here. Let's mark it green. That's the linear growth. It has a low angle, it has a sustainable, and it has and rational growth. That was because of the blockchain hype and everybody thought blockchain is the future. And to be honest, blockchain has a future. Then we got the square growth. Let's make it in yellow. That's the second phase. That's when people from the media start to talk about it, and institutionals didn't get in at that time, but euphoria starts to kick in and people thought this is going to be the next big thing. That's the second phase. Then we got the last and the third phase. That was the exponential growth. Let's make it in red. And here you can see it completely went vertical. After that, we saw a severe drop. You can see it went faster than the exponential growth. And you also can see here after that the dead cat bounce, as we talked about. You can see here people thought this was a quite strong technical point to buy. People bought it once, people bought it twice, and you can see here people who maybe bought here. It's just speculation. I can't validate the things I say right now, but I think people who bought here saw they can make a little bit of profit, or let's say break even because of the fees, and then it dropped again. And after that, everybody who was in the crypto space at that time know it was a severe and hard drop. So let's take a look at it now. If this was the burst of the bubble, it is right here. It's really hard to tell because it's different than in 2017. We got PayPal and we got Elon Musk and we got MicroStrategy and we got a lot of people who invested big money. And even though I don't like the phrase this time is different, because in most of the cases it's not different, but in this case it is actually different because it's not like 2017. We got institutions like PayPal and MicroStrategy who bought into the market and supported, and hopefully for everybody who is a Bitcoin holder, um, they are going to hold the Bitcoins because that supports the market and supports the price. Now, if you want to build up a strategy how to trade it, first of all, this is no financial advice. Trading and investing can be and is really risky and should only be done by experienced people who are experienced in the market and know what they are doing. You can lose a lot of money and you can lose it fast. You can see with that drop, that was like, I think 20%. Let's say around 20%, 23, 22%. That's like if you have $100 or euros or yen in whatever country you live, you've lost 22 of those euros, yens, dollars, or whatever. And that's in 2 days. So that's like bye bye money, here, gone. So please be aware, and even more in the crypto market. The crypto market is, in my opinion, the most difficult to trade because of the high volatility and the high beta. It's a very, very, very difficult market to trade. So, but let's discuss what strategies you could do. So, first of all, you could buy a long position at around here or here, depends on if you want to buy the support or you want to buy it with a little bit more of confirmation. So you could buy it here long. I would set the stop around here because if we get lower than that, I think the potential to the downside is definitely a little bit more, let's say like that. Even though it's still, yeah, around 11 to 12%. In my opinion, that's still a lot, but if you know the profits on the upside, it's not that bad. So that's something you could do if you want to trade it long. If you want to trade it short, you could buy in if you want more profit, you can buy in here, but in my opinion I would buy in if we break through, let's say 43,250. If we break through that, you could buy short, and definitely don't forget to put the stop at the old all-time high, because if we bounce back through the all-time high, and especially with volume, then the bubble didn't burst, and then we are still in the bull market. So if you think we are still in a bull market, you could trade it long here to the upside with a stop here. And if you want to trade it short because you think the bubble have bursted, then you could enter here with a short position and set the stop here. And also, if you trade it long, I would put my first take profit target at the old all-time high, because the chance that people want to sell at the old all-time high is quite high. So put the first target a little bit under the old all-time high, and then let it run through. And if you want to sell it short, I will put the first target at around here, see if we bounce back. And yeah, but in my opinion, if we um, fall if we fall further than this could mean the end of the bull market, even though my gut feeling says it's not the end of the bull market. But I don't have the crystal ball, so it depends on what you think and what you prefer to do. Please always keep in mind, trading and investing is very, very risky, and you can lose a lot of money, as told before. And as always, this is not a financial advice, it is just for educational purpose, so please keep that in mind. And with that all said, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please smash up the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel. I hopefully will provide you with videos, maybe daily or maybe every 2 or 3 days. And yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck with your trading and your investing, and don't get wrecked, people.